Welcome back to the channel and to live coverage on talkSPORT of the divisional round of the playoffs, where this weekend we're bringing you every single game live and exclusive on UK radio. And that includes the LA Rams, fresh off the back of that sensational victory in Phoenix this past week, heading on the road to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm delighted to say that ahead of that, rookie kicker Josh Karty's with us. Josh, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on today.
Look, we really appreciate it. And I mentioned that win last weekend. Talk to us first of all about playing in that environment with everything that came before that game, with everything that's going on in LA right now, and to go and get what felt like a pretty emotional win.
Yeah, I mean, all week long was pretty hectic. I luckily came out of the wildfires pretty unscathed, but did have to evacuate for the couple of nights before we actually left for Arizona, which we left 3 days early, and we spent 3 nights in Arizona instead of the normal one night that we would spend for an away game. So I know a lot of the guys on the team were affected, or they knew somebody who was affected by the fires going on, and they're still going on, and just thoughts and prayers for those who are affected worse than others. But from practice, disruptions to changing the whole schedule around to they actually flew out our families with us that were living with us to Arizona, and flew them to the game, and then also back to Los Angeles after the game. So it was pretty cool getting to play a game and then sitting next to my parents on the flight on the way home, cool as well. But altogether the environment was great. Rams fans really traveled super well, and it was a lot of fun to go out there and whoop some butt.
Nice, great. And what's the atmosphere been like in the building this week? I'm sure that everyone wants to be just on to the next game, but it's a pretty unique circumstance that you guys have found yourself in, right?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much back to business as usual for us. We celebrated the win, but I really think it never was stated all around, but I think we all expected to win. I mean, the media had us as underdogs, but I think we knew if we just went out there and did what we were supposed to do as a team collectively, then we would come away with the result. I don't know if we knew we would kind of beat them 27-9, and have the game won comfortably, but that comfortably. But we knew, like, if we did what we were supposed to do, we would beat the good Vikings team. And so I think we celebrated after the game, but a little bit. But I think it got back down to, all right, business trip, going back home, practice, and then we got the Eagles next up, and I think we flipped around pretty quickly as a team, and I'd say we're pretty focused.
Love that, absolutely love that. Look, Josh, are you a superstitious man?
A little bit. I feel like I have a couple of things, but I tote the line between superstition and routine. So I can argue that some of the things I do are routine, and some things might be superstitious, but not as much as other people, though.
I'm intrigued because I always feel like when somebody's on a hot streak, like there's almost this thing that you're not meant to talk about it kind of thing, but to go for those 13 kicks to end the season, win that award in December, and then now up to 15, like, do you feel like for yourself personally, this is the best you've ever kicked potentially? And
Oh, absolutely. I think even throughout the season, kind of midway, I wasn't getting the results in the games exactly, but in practices and warm-ups in general, I still thought I was kicking the best I've ever kicked. It just wasn't quite clicking in games yet. It was just a matter of time, I believed. And so I think, really the last month and a half, 2 months especially, has been the best kicking I've ever done in my life. And, what a good time to do it.
yeah, not bad.
But yeah, just trying to keep climbing upwards and upwards, chasing perfection. You have a lot of things to work on, every day. So once you get settled, that's when you
do you feel you've done anything differently? Do you put anything like down to why you've hit that consistency, or is it just that accumulation of
Yeah,
work?
I mean, I would say some of it is just finding, little things in a technique, like maybe this worked, this didn't work, and then just kind of sticking with something a little bit. For me, it was just, my rhythm, tempo. I was a little bit sporadic, I would say, earlier in the season, midway in the season. And I just really wanted to, take my time comfortably, be in good rhythm with the snapper and the holder, and give myself a good look at the ball, and yeah, just try and be very consistent every single time, so I get more of a flow. So much of kicking is really just like I almost feel more comfortable kicking with the snapper and holder than kind of off the sticks at this point in the season. Like some of it is just getting in the rhythm and just the timing and week in, week out, getting the work in, getting the timing in, and trusting the guys around you.
Love that. Absolutely love that. Well, look, you kicked in a very unique atmosphere last weekend, but going into this weekend, one of the most raucous atmospheres possible in the NFL, Philly, January. How are you feeling about that? And like, where does it compare to maybe the most intimidating environments you'll have kicked in the past?
Yeah, I've been told it's probably going to be, I guess, the most, I guess you say, intimidating environment that I've played in. I don't know what fan bases kind of beat Philly, especially in the playoffs. I've been warned to, tell my family not to wear Rams gear. I don't know
Blimey.
if that's, it's a realistic possibility. They can, gang up on him and be mean and stuff. But I don't know. For us players, it's really just, what's on the field is pretty much all that matters for us. Might have, different weather conditions, different, game situations, but, all the other stuff is external and, it's out of our control. So just, control what's in our control and do what we practiced all week.
I do. I find the mentality of kickers fascinating because, like, if I was in that environment and on the sideline and I know my team is driving down the field to get me in position to take one swing of the leg to go and, put yourself in a championship game, it's a kind of wild position to be in. And yet I think every
Oh,
kicker
yeah.
I've ever spoken to is like, yeah, that's my job. And I just try to stay level headed. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah,
I mean, every kicker will say that, but I mean, definitely it's nerve wracking. I mean, it's got a lot of adrenaline, and there's a lot of pressure in some of those situations. And anyone who's telling you they're not nervous is probably just lying. But I mean,
no,
there's an appropriate amount of nerves that you should be feeling, as pretty much all the top athletes say in every sport. But yeah, I mean, it makes you feel alive. That's for sure.
and it's a cool opportunity for you as well because you're being reunited with a good friend of yours from college, a roommate, an old buddy in Tanner McKee.
Yeah.
Have you guys been chatting back and forth this week? Has there been some friendly banter, a little bit of, I guess, what you guys would call trash talk? Any of that going on?
Yeah, you did your research, huh? No, yeah, we've been talking back and forth. We're good friends from college, roommates. We were in the same class, incoming at Stanford together, and I was really excited to see him. What, 3 weeks ago now, make his debut, and then 2 weeks ago make his starting debut and get the win. He played incredibly, and threw 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, and got 2 wins in 2 games, I think. So, I think he's solidified his role as QB2, and it's been really great to watch and see all the things that we all knew he could do just come together and be in shine during the season. So, yeah, I mean, I won't be rooting for him this week, that's for sure. Want to go out there and win. I'll send him some texts as the game approaches. But yeah, we stay in contact every week. I mean, we play some like video games, on our own and on our off days because a lot of times they align when all of our friends are like busy and stuff. So
What are you guys
it's a
playing
lot
out
of
of
fun.
interest?
Fortnite, yeah.
That makes me
Yeah,
immediately feel old. I'm like,
yeah. You and I are both kind of stuck in like 2018. We never really like evolved after that.
I'm all right with it. It's all good. Can I ask about Chase Blackburn? Because I think he's a guy we don't hear a huge amount about, kind of necessarily outside the building. But we've got a guy who's you've been working with for all this year, but a two-time Super Bowl winner, a guy who knows what it takes to succeed in the playoffs in this league. So, how influential has he been over your time in the NFL? And has he ever regaled you tales of his time playing?
Oh yeah, he's told me a couple tales that I probably can't repeat on the record. Yeah, he's been a great mentor, a great coach, and he's the type of guy who commands respect, but at the same time, he's like one of the guys too. Like he was in our position for a long time and very successful, and so I think that is one of the main reasons that all my team respects him and treats him well, and he treats us well too. And so it's been nice having a guy who's been through it all, knows the game, in and out, pretty much, every part of it. And it's someone who I can ask questions to as well in this first year of my NFL journey.
I won't pry about the potentially X-rated stories, but has he ever talked to you about the picking off Tom Brady in the Super Bowl?
He picked off Tom Brady?
Seriously, he must have talked to you about
that. I might be a little naive, but I don't know if I knew that.
That's amazing, because I think if that was me, I would have it on a mural on the wall in my office. But no, he got the only turnover of their second Super Bowl win over the Patriots and picked off Tom Brady. So go and pick it. Go and be like,
I'm probably gonna catch some flack for that after this.
I remember I would have been watching that in a bar at 3 a.m. here in the UK, and so if I can remember, I'm sure he can.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, I didn't watch football until I started playing about 8 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So before then, I don't know a whole lot.
No worries. Well, look, man, I really appreciate you taking the time out to have a chat with us. Best of luck in Philly this weekend and with the rest.
Yeah. What part of you're in England right now?
Yeah, South London. Yeah. So.
Okay. Nice.
I
saw Southampton was beating up on Man United today.
You a big Premier League fan?
I was. I still play a little bit of fantasy Premier League and just follow the scores and the points and stuff. And I'm not doing too hot this year.
Well, Amad Diallo scored a 10-minute hat trick, like from 82 minutes onwards, and they won 3-1. So.
I'm a Man United fan, but that's the one player I think I was having to root against, because I think my buddy Ryan Sanborn, the punter, who was at Stanford, went to Texas, and he was here Peace Squad for a couple weeks actually. I think he has Ahmad on his team.
So there you go. United get a win, but you end up getting beat up on in fantasy. It's just not fair.
Yeah, this is how it works, man.
Love it, man. Well, look, really appreciate your time, brother. Thank you so much, and best of luck for this weekend.
Thank you.